up accidental kills, then things could really be over. And they can play through bottom lane a lot better in the early stages. With a Draven Nami, you can stand up to Illusion Sonar.
Yeah, but the Elise, though, will destroy the Wukong, and the Wukong can't stand up to the Elise, which is where things get really scary, which means the Wukong has to kind of try to come down bottom side and isn't going to have as much of an impact, which means that CANNA can continue to push top side, maybe even get a Demolish proc off on that turret, get some additional gold early, and then Dplus's lead just kind of snowballs from there if they can make that bottom side setup happen, where Lucian is just dominating with the Sona. They have a lot of sustain down there. I feel like the way that HLE wins this is poor decision-making from Dplus. Again, taking bad fights, you know, on the first or second Drake or first Rift Herald. Cash-in comes through like you're saying.
Game number 2. Match point on the line here for Hanwha Life Esports. If they can overcome Dplus Kia's early game a second time in a row, this is going to need to be a tidying up of play, I think. Wolf?
Yeah, I think so too. And Kingin went teleport, no ghost on this Cassante. This is more standard these days. It's the Grasp Cassante. And in defense of the Cassante pick, because obviously you're giving over this Renekton AP jungler. Could have been Nili, could have been the Elise, right? Both of them were available, we know this. And they picked the Cassante instead.
It's Arcade Sona, right? It might be a Chroma, but I believe it is. It's been a really long time. I think we were giving that out for free, like, at PAX in Australia, like 1,000,000 years ago. I remember I used to give that to people.
It's the one that has the like fight stick setup.
Yeah. Actually, really cool.
It's not like the retro one.
Yeah, I stopped using it after DJ Sona because I liked the tracks. Thought it was pretty cool. It reminded me of 2015 finals. As Deft and Kellen, yeah, they're going to do what they can here, of course. We've seen the Sona quite a few times paired alongside the Lucian, played by Carrier in a lot of situations. Yeah. Hasn't always been successful.
It hasn't. It has failed a lot, actually, but notice the win rate on Deft, 10-1, and CANNA before level 6, so this should just be the Drake going over, and in fact, with the teleport from Zeka, Canyon's already started this up, and this time, you win these. Like, there's no angle for HLE. Even with Talia having Weaver's Wall, you're so late to the party, Life has half health, he doesn't have setup CC, you know, if he bubbles, it's not going to win you the fight. Viper does so much damage at this point in time, but you don't have any sort of positional edge like they did the last time around. So this one is just going to go over for free for Dplus, no worries in the second game. And they're already kind of setting up for Herald here on the top side of the map as well. and CANNA, I've spent a lot of time watching CANNA stream. We know his Renekton is so good. I've actually seen him play the Cassante into the Renekton so many times and just destroy top-level players on the Korean ladder. And he knows this matchup so incredibly well, and he's just not going to mess it up. You can trust that he's going to get that advantage. He's going to get that plate gold. He's going to have Cryo. Of course, that if that bubble hits, this could look very different. It misses, unfortunately, for Life, but just trying to force as many advantages as possible. Viper's Flash back available now. Cleanse coming up soon, and just trying to get any edge they can. That's going to force it back. That's going to be an additional plate.
Yeah, Deft actually not using the Ignite in the last exchange either, I don't believe. So Viper used Cleanse, but Deft actually hadn't even ignited him, which I believe was why the Cleanse was used. I think even I thought that he actually didn't.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And he didn't have the Cleanse, of course, for the Sona ultimate, and did barely escape, as this is a matchup where things are getting out of hand very early, and they're even going to set up a dive with the Rift Herald. Kingin,
oh dear,
not getting out of this one.
Well, there's the flash, and immediately Ruthless Predator going to come down. That is going to be a very comfortable kill. First blood going over to Canyon, and he holds onto the Rift Herald. He's like, CANNA, you deal with that. It's fine. You're a Dominus Renekton. You'll be able to take this turret down yourself, and he's still got 3 minutes to get the last couple of plates.
Come down here bottom, and they could have just done Drake, but they're like, nah, we'll get more. We'll do everything. We'll get Deft all of these plates. We'll get him actually the first turret of the game. He's going to win an additional 600 gold. We're just going to make sure we maximize everything, and don't force a fight until it's completely safe. We don't want to have any chance that Viper could potentially get a cash in here. Look at the amount of wards they have. Like, it's actually obscene how many wards they have here in the jungle. There's no angle for a flank here. There's no way for Life to, like, come over the wall here and set up for a tidal wave and then look for a cash in. It's just not going to happen. Even with Talia, you don't feel like you can be anywhere near this objective right now. And if it's Hex Tech, this is probably game over. It's going to be a Cloud again.
Oh, double Cloud.
Double Cloud.
Feeling good about that. Actually, we had a lot of Clouds yesterday as well. I think if like, Viper had died at all, that's when we're really calling the alarm and saying that, oh, okay, let's set up for game number 3, you know, all this sort of stuff. But because he hasn't, we're going to hold that thought for at least a moment.
I feel like right now is the turning point where if HLE can't actually force a good fight here in the next 3 or 4 minutes, you know, arguably on this third Drake, like I'm ready to say let's talk about game 3, because I just don't see any world even right now where Viper is going to get a kill because they have no pressure, they have no engage, and you know, Clid will just straight up die if he tries to hard engage. He has flash ult.
Well, surely going to get some work done here as, okay, there's the flash in. Exactly as you say, Tidal Wave going to follow, and the Whirling Death doesn't really do too much. Clid going to be lit on fire, and he's going to have to run away, and I think this turret is also going to die. So, they went for it. They pushed the buttons. They did exactly what you asked of them, Wolf, but it just wasn't quite enough.
He lived, so like I wasn't 100% right.
Punish him. Still, they get his flash. That is what they were looking for, as Canyon's going to get soul point here. Not any way for Hanwha Life to get over there. As Clid flanking, as per usual, as the Weaver's Wall to come in. He's moving the wrong direction, but Kellen is just going to die. As now Kingen diving onto Deft here. What is going on in this river? This is very, very strange. The Whirling Death not available, and so it isn't going to be the Draven getting the kill, but that was odd.
Yeah, no Draven kill here, and also the kill going over the Cassante. It said that Talia doesn't feel great, so bit of a hiccup here for Dplus because they're trying to so hard push this top turret, or rather defend this top turret as Kingen is pushing it, and everybody's grouped up to actually then collapse and punish the Cassante. So if you look at the minimap here, you can see where Cassante is. So they're like, all right, we're going to push up and collapse, right? They don't know where Clid is, so the ult comes through, and the Talia follow-up is amazing. So Deft and Kellen are punished for trying to actually catch this Cassante. A really nice trap here set up by Kingen and Hanwha Life Esports to make sure that maybe there's an opportunity for a pick. No kill to the Draven, as you said, but still a significant amount of golden. It's an instant win if they get him, but they don't even have to get him necessarily. That's the pressure's on HLE for this one. They do have actually a little bit of prio setup, but look at CANNA. He's roaming over, flanking over.
Yeah, Kingen could be in trouble here. Goes unstoppable. He's now used that, and the Cocoon is going to come forward. Clid finds the Cyclone onto Deft, but the Cassante's already been taken out. Deft is going to avoid the Whirling Death as well, so no cash in for you just yet. Tidal Wave going to land, but it's only onto a Renekton as there's the culling. Just back off cooldown in time to guarantee the Cloud Soul and a couple of kills for Dplus Kia.
Yep. That was your chance as HLE to maybe look for a fight. That's why we saw the flank there from CANNA. He wants to make sure they can lock down the front line instantly. And notice they don't push into the choke point. Yeah, Tidal Wave comes out, and there's a follow-up bubble, but CANNA's in ult. He's not going to die. No one else is in range of this Draven, so Viper can't kill anybody. There's no real pressure here. Like that fight was basically perfectly played by Dplus Kia start to finish, and now they're just going to take a Baron. They have Cloud Soul plus Baron to start taking even more gold off of the map. And weirdly, Showmaker is like in this game on 2 items. Like I'm not even.
But the poke is real here. Siege actually pretty good just in general, as now CANNA could be in trouble. The all-out does come through as, oh, the interrupt from Kellen is so good as Zeka has to flash to get himself away. Slices, dices CANNA. Can he stay alive? The answer is almost, as he goes golden. The Whirling Death, can he get the cash in? The answer's no. Cull the Meat comes in again, and CANNA is an immortal crocodile. The W gets pressed by the Sonar. He walks it out, and DK. Oh man, I don't know how you did that, but they turned the situation. It's a 10,000 gold lead, so perhaps they just paid for it.
It feels like Dplus are dragging it out, and maybe, if that's the case, maybe he did stopwatch on purpose, hoping that HLE would see it just for the BM, for the best of 5 mental boom, but I mean, this is just abysmal here for HLE.
How many does it take to kill CANNA is the question, and the answer before was more than what Hanwha Life had. And Tidal Wave going to go wide here. CANNA just moves back towards his Sona, who's going to heal him all the way back up. Inhibitor turret's going to go down. The inhibitor sure to follow as we're pre-30 minutes. 3 inhibitors are now down. There is not much more that DK could do to snowball this any further other than killing the Nexus. And now Kingen's going to be in trouble. Clid almost dead. Just barely gets himself out. Double tap from the Light Slinger is going to come in as the wall is going to separate them. And the first Nexus turret will fall. This game, very different to what game number 1 was, but the blueprint remained the same. Pick for early game dominance, and DK show us exactly what they plan to do with it here, just 1 game late. CANNA just having a good time, slicing and dicing through the Hanwha esports players as the Nexus will now go down. All out for Kingen, but he's all out of this game, and they are all out of chances. They do have the ability to come back, though, in game number 3. We're set up for a best of 3 now between DK and Hanwha esports. DK back on track.
DK back on track. 2 winning drafts back-to-back. This time the execution is much better. No early game errors. Yeah, man, if they're going to